Good morning. Today we're here to talk about JCPenney's. Does JCPenney have a future in the world of retail? Where did it start? Where did it go wrong? Let's take a look at some of the things about JCPenney's. So JCPenney has been around for over 100 years, and it really was and is a way of American life. JCPenney became the thing that was as American as baseball and apple pie. Every home in America was delivered the JCPenney catalog, and it would hang around, and the kids would just circle the things they wanted. It had household items, and it truly became a household staple in all American homes. It was just the American symbol of what we were. So how does something go from being an American staple to having mass liquidations across the country? What went wrong? What happened to this company? In order to know that, we're going to need to just take a look back at JCPenney and how it started. So JCPenney had a namesake for its founder. His name was James Cash Penney. And in April of 1902, James Cash Penney opens his first Golden Rule store. Now, the Golden Rule store would then later become JCPenney. By 1912, James Cash Penney had 34 Golden Rule stores. And at that time is when the name changed to JCPenney. Just 2 short years later, JCPenney moves its headquarters to New York City. This is truly the beginning of JCPenney. See, New York City still today is the epicenter of fashion in retail, and making that move was a big move in 1914 for JCPenney and the JCPenney Company. And to know that in a matter of 12 short years, that he had grown this company to become something that was worthy of being in the epicenter of fashion. When JCPenney started, he started on the 7 principles of fair pricing and good service. The biggest thing was to serve the public to its complete satisfaction. I mean, this is just 101, and it really is something that all companies should follow. You want to obviously expect service, and that the profit the traffic will bear. This is important for companies to understand that yes, we're going to make money and we're going to do this, but we also are here to provide a service. We want to make sure that we do all in the power to pack the customer's dollar full of value, quality, and satisfaction. Again, this goes back to making money, that yes, we are here to make money. We are also here to satisfy our customers. We want to continue to train ourselves and our associates so that the service we give them will be more and more intelligently performed. You only perform better customer service by having better staff. You must continually train your staff. This always boils over to how they treat your customers. You always want to constantly improve the human factor in business. It's not just a transaction. You're contracting with people. So it's always important to keep that in there. You want to reward men and women in the organization through participation in what the business produces. You want your employees to be active participants in the company. This is very important. And you want to test every policy, method, and act in this wise. Does it square with right and just? And that was truly his golden rule. Is this right and just? So as the world went into crisis, JCPenney's thrived. The world entered the Great Depression, World War II. However, JCPenney survived. Not only did they survive, during the Great Depression, they increased their sales by $250 million. This is a huge sum of money in that time period. During World War II, it was double that at $500 million. So how can a company survive something that is happening around and affecting every other business around them? Well, they were able to survive because they offered high quality goods, good service, and they were always selling the items that people needed. This was very important to help them survive this very tumultuous time for our country. So where did things start to turn? So we're starting to see a change, and although they survived the Great Depression and World War II, by 1994 there was a downturn due to the recession and the Gulf War. So Americans could have changed by then. It wasn't the same mentality that happened during World War II, and a lot of things were changing in the world. So by 2008 was the worst holiday season in a generation. So things were drastically changing, not only for JCPenney, but for a lot of retail stores throughout the U.S. So JCPenney decided to change things up. And by doing that, they decided to bring in Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson was responsible for rebranding Target into Target and invented the all-famous Apple Store. Now we all know people will stand in line for hours or go to the store. You must make an appointment to get in. So clearly he had found success with these other companies. So Ron Johnson came into JCPenney and decided to end the use of markdowns. He introduced fair and square pricing. So instead of having an inflated retail price and then offering sales discounts and coupons, he started fair and square pricing. And this would be the price of an item without a sale. So most times the consumer would get the same price every day without having to chase coupons or sales ads. He also wanted to do store boutiques centered around a centralized town square. This would allow for more shopping experience for people who maybe like higher end and like customization within their shopping. He wanted to reduce the focus on private label brands and bring in more well-known brands for consumers to come in and purchase. Well, it didn't go well. So let's find why this plan with this strategy seemed to be fantastic. This man had come in and changed the world of Target and Apple. So why did this plan fail at JCPenney? It seemed to be an execution problem. So this problem fell execution-wise to blame on employees, on customers, and mostly on management. So for employees, morale fell. This was due because they did no longer feel secure. A lot of middle management was cut, and so people felt, were they next? Obviously, morale fell. They were less motivated because commissions were taken out of the stance, and it went to straight salary. So they lost motivation, even though they would be making the same amount of money. They just went to work and did their job. So there was some blame with execution to employees. Customers also had some blame because of their addiction to the coupon and chasing the deal. They were no longer getting that coupon high at JCPenney's. And because of that, they failed to see that their everyday low price was indeed going to be the same price as their coupon discount sale price. So they didn't really give the everyday pricing even a chance at JCPenney's. But ultimately, these decisions were made by management, and their execution of this failed. There was a lack of communication with the ideas that they wanted, in their communication to the customer, their communication to the employees. It was just a failure. They failed to show the customer they no longer needed the coupon. They moved key staff to different places all over the country. This made it virtually impossible to collaborate on new ideas or to notice that things were going wrong. It was taking longer for these key people to communicate their ideas, communicate failures, communicate successes, and it wasn't working. There also was not enough time for this change. There was only about 17 months from beginning to end of this big change to JCPenney. And yes, it was huge change. It looked bad on paper. Stock prices did increase in the beginning, and then sale prices started to fall. There were increase in boutique sales and decreases in regular sales, and it was really kind of hard to tell where this was going to even out. So it was truly not given enough time for the plan to work. Also, there was a complete lack of market research. There was none done to take this in a target market. Let's try this fair market pricing, work out any kinks we might be having, take it to a regional market, then take it nationwide. It launched nationwide day one with no market research. That was a failure waiting to happen. So JCPenney's, where is it looking to go now? Obviously, they want to recover. They obviously want to be a powerhouse again. So learning from their mistakes, they have started some new projects. They have started a new store format that they've opened outside of Dallas. So this will give them that market research in a regional area to see what is going to work and what isn't going to work. This puts the customer at the center of the experience. So by doing that, they have actually organized this store and organized the clothes by the lifestyle that the customer is coming in to shop for. So if they're shopping for business clothes, they're shopping for weekend clothes, they're shopping for party dresses, it is all organized in a way that makes that shopping experience so much better. They've also upgraded their JCPenney app. This should help them keep up with other online retailers. Shopping has gone online. Amazon has taken over, and having an app that is user-friendly should truly help them into the future. If you would like to learn more about JCPenney and some of the things that we talked about today, please visit some of my references. Thank you for listening and have a great day.